back. Some breaking news coming in from the Supreme Court on the issue of vaccine mandates. This was an issue that was brought before the Supreme Court earlier, and today their decision has come, and they have said that no one can be forced to get vaccinated, but also adding that the current vaccine policy can't be said to be unreasonable. So the Supreme Court's big decision on COVID policies, that bodily integrity is protected under the law and nobody can be forced to be vaccinated. However, in the interest of communitarian or community health, the government can impose certain limitations on individual rights. Well, let's go across to Sukirti now for more. And Sukirti, big news coming there. But while the Supreme Court is saying no one can be forced to get vaccinated, at the same time talking about community health and how the government's, policy is not unreasonable.
Well, yes. So all of this is coming in light of the fact that the petitioner had said that there is not enough data about the current vaccines that are being used. That data has not been put out. So there is this question on the efficacy of the vaccines. We don't have enough scientific evidence about these vaccines. What are the adverse effects of those? The government has been not putting out all of that data. So in a way, it was raising a lot of questions on the vaccine policy of the government. So it is in that respect that the Supreme Court today has said that we cannot call the government's vaccine policy unreasonable in any manner. It is based on expert opinion. It is based on scientific evidence. Now, the centre had told the Supreme Court during the arguments that we have never said that vaccination is mandatory. It is voluntary. However, certain state governments, based on the conditions that they have in their areas, they have imposed certain vaccine mandates in their states. For example, Maharashtra had said that people without getting vaccinated cannot enter the local trains. So, in terms of those, the Supreme Court today said that nobody can be forced to get vaccinated. There is the bodily integrity of a person is protected under laws of the Constitution. However, because of public health norms, the government, the executive has certain powers to impose certain restrictions. Now, just in terms of the present situation alone, the Supreme Court has made a suggestion, not a direction, a suggestion to all the authorities, including private organizations and educational institutions across the country, saying that as long as infection numbers are low, all the restrictions that you have for unvaccinated people in terms of accessing public places and resources or any particular services, those restrictions can be recalled. Now, the Supreme Court has added this condition that this is based purely on the present situation alone and does not apply on basic COVID appropriate behavior rules. For example, masking. So this does not apply on masking, that authorities should revoke these orders on people wearing masks, but other things like accessing public places or any other facilities. For example, several state governments had said that in order to get rations also one has to be vaccinated. So it is in terms of those that the Supreme Court has made this particular suggestion. And also regarding clinical trial data, a lot of questions had been posed. So on that, the Supreme Court has said that all of these, the government should ensure that there is a virtual platform or a website where all of the data on any adverse effects post immunization or vaccination, all of that data on adverse events is put on this public platform. Similarly, all the clinical trial data of all the vaccines, whether it is for adults or for children, all of the data related to these clinical trials should be up on these virtual platforms. So, in a holistic
is that also,
picture,
Sukirti,
most of the data is already out there in the public domain.
Is that also a suggestion, or is this something now that they have to do?
So, as far as the so as far as the clinical trial data part is concerned, that is a direction from the Supreme Court to the central government. But one would really have to go into the nitty-gritties of that, considering most of the trial data has already been put out by the government, but whether the government will be forming a dedicated platform to put up this entire data in one place on adverse effects, or whether the CoWIN website already has all of that information, one would have to look into it. But yes, as you pointed out, that is a direction from the Supreme Court that all data on clinical trials for both adults as well as children and all the data about any adverse effects or side effects that one faces post-vaccination, all of that data needs to be available publicly on a virtual platform.
All right, Sukirti, thanks so much for joining us there with the latest directions from the Supreme Court regarding the vaccine mandates, and also saying that vaccines cannot be, nobody can be forced to get vaccinated.